So I mean, we always kind of give an update about us. Then we kind of go on to culture and all of that stuff. We're gonna tap into a little bit of that stuff, but let's start with just our updates and what we got going on.
Yeah, so right now we still at the planning board stage. So planning board is a little longer than we thought it was going to be because there's a lot of different parts to it. Like you put in your application, but you got to build your team, right? So we got a land use lawyer, we got a compliance officer. We've been working with our architect for a while, and there's certain things that the planning board want to see. So like the planning board is a little longer than we thought it had to be, right? We had to expand our team, so we got a land use lawyer. We got a compliance officer, and we've been working with an architect for some time. So like initially when you put in your application, they review it, right? And that could take like 60 days for them to review the application. And then they come back to you with just like a list of things that they need you to complete. And we had some tasks that seemed like they're little, but like it took a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're working with the city, like people have to be available to meet, to discuss things in order for you to get what you need. So we were able to kind of turn that around in a decent amount of time. And then they reviewed it again and was like basically like it's complete. And then we had our TRC review.
Yeah, TRC review. Yep. So our TRC review was our pre-planning board event. Our architect was there. Our lawyer did not have to be there. So our architect was able to sit, show them drawings, answer certain questions. The police department, the fire department was also there with it.
Yeah.
So we sit down and we talk about certain things. They answer the questions and they say, okay, you guys are good. And then, they typically look to see if there's anything that needs to be reviewed again. And then they kind of give you the planning board date.
Yeah. So once we finished that, they came back with another list. we completed those tasks. And now 2024, we're going to be on like one of those first planning board dates. So we're really, really, really excited about that. Really excited for the presentation. Something we've been like getting prepared for a little while now.
Right. So, I mean, that was really it for us, planning board, understanding how to optimize our space, right? And always think about this, right? If you have to go to planning boards and things like that, and they may not accept certain things, how you have to pivot, right? So always just keep that in the back of your mind. We're not going to touch too much on that, but just always think about, being able to pivot at any time.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like when you're dealing with the city, when you're dealing with the state, you might have your ideas, but you got to be willing to compromise.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But it's a start, right? Like we get up and running, start working with the city, we'll start working with the state, and then you can see what happened. But keep an open mind for sure.
Yep. So that means we didn't have too much updates. Expungement clinic, amazing.
Yeah.
Planning board, getting to it. Yes, and we kind of gave you guys, a little wrap of 2023. All the vlogs are on our page. So if you missed a lot of the stuff that we had going on, you can see it on the vlogs. We took a vlog of our West Coast tour, of our Invest Fest trip.
Yeah.
And 420 in New York last year in New Jersey. That was a good time. Being able to be around Astor Club and Smugglers Club and all these different spots. So
the culture in New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, and kind of fusing them, making something great, man. That's what we intend on doing. So
a lot of big plans for 2024.
Yeah. So let's get into market updates. Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'll tap in with Jersey real quick.
Okay.
So New Jersey, basically, they're allowing new licenses, right? Remember, it's a rolling application. So you can apply as long as they're allowing it.
Yeah.
Once they get to a cap on how many major cultivations, then they're going to actually look at it again to see if they want to continue to allow cannabis businesses to get licenses or kind of slow it down. But they do have new aspects of the industry. So 3 new licenses came in September. You have wholesale, distro, and delivery.
Yeah.
They just did the last meeting in December. So, they closed out the year, getting ready for the new year. A lot of name changes, a lot of location changes, ownership changes. So we're going to see that as this market is brand new and it's finally about like year 2, right? Year 2, going into year 3. Some people, they're going to end up selling their license. Some people are going to keep it. Some big boys are going to want to come into the market now as it kind of matures.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot of different things with those meetings in the CLC.
Yeah, man, listen, we just heard that they're getting close to 800 M's. I'm sure there's a lot of people talking about? Yeah, what's happening in Jersey?
800 M.
Sheesh.
That's a lot of money, man. And we need peace. We need peace, man.
Yeah, like I mean,
let us in.
Yeah, I mean, for the people, like
for the people,
like, as long as we getting our fair share of the market, yeah, for sure.
Right. New York, P, what's going on in New York?
So New York is finally opening up the adult recreational market. So notable news is that they letting certain MSOs convert over. This is like a big controversy.
Yeah.
Like in New Jersey, they started the market with MSOs. So like, you got these big companies, Curaleaf, Verano, Ascend. They went from medicinal, paid their fee, went recreational. So now they had to do both, which was, complicated at first. But now, they moving.
They're moving.
We just went to Ascend to look at like the operations. And then like we're seeing the numbers and it's outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. One location
going crazy.
But but New York, they're letting them convert over, so there'll be some bigger corporate like businesses opening up.
Yep.
But they're opening up the adult use market for people like us. So the application was open and closed. It closed December 18th.
December 18th, yep.
December 18th. And that's just to get the market started. So just like New Jersey, they're starting the market off with retail dispensaries, right? And they're allowing you to add delivery to that. They're starting the market off with processing. So it's manufacturing. So it's like creating products, packaging and labeling, things of that nature. And then they're doing cultivation, of course, right? So usually that's how the market opens up. It's like you got to have the product, right? And the product, like the cannabis creates other products, right? And then like you could give it to the store and people are able to label it however they want to. So that's the start of New York. It's a lot of promise in New York because they're looking for people that don't have a lot of experience in the cannabis industry and trying to help you build your business. So as licenses start to continue to open up, we'll continue to drop that information because we definitely want to see people get their hands on the New York market. And I think it's interesting, especially because when you go to New York, it's so much traffic moving around, and you see the gray market is really, really doing this thing. Like people just really have their habit of going into whatever store
lounges,
is around them,
whatever.
And so like it's going to be interesting to see what like more people getting licenses, how they're going to police that to give people the ability to be successful. But with New York opening up, man, and us seeing the numbers in New Jersey, I can only imagine what New York gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Like New Jersey's a commuter state, right? So that means like I'm driving to my local spot. In New York, it's like I'm going downstairs. Get my stuff, go right back upstairs. So I can see the numbers in New York looking a little crazy.
So New York gave priority to those who have space.
Yeah.
So if you had a retail space already or space to cultivate, whatever the case is, you had priority with that, which a lot of minorities don't usually hold on to that type of space.
Right.
So it makes it tricky, but they've done a good job with rolling it out for minorities for the most part. You only can do but so much, and while the big boys keep fighting at you and keep throwing lawsuits at you.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But New York's gonna be dope when it opens to a bigger crowd of people.
And that lawsuit finally was settled. So now there's gonna be actually retail dispensaries opening up in Brooklyn and other areas in Long Island, which is a big deal for a long time. And the city, you see a lot of stores in the city kind of going up, but Brooklyn is definitely a big market as well. So
for sure.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. Maryland opened up. They had their application process around the same time as New York. It ended December 13th at 5 p.m. So if you got a social equity license in there, congratulations. But it is only for social equity, and you had to meet that criteria by a little pre-application process. They told you if you were from out of state that you had to find information to show that you are part of their social equity requirements, which is not easy to do. So they did that. But if you were able to find it, they let you in. If you're from area that's been affected by the war on drugs, you can get in. If you went to a college with 90% of the students can get Pell Grant or something like that.
Like 70
Oh, 70% of the students get
got
Pell
Pell
Grant.
Grants, yeah, which is a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they named like all the schools in DMV.
Yeah.
Bowie, Morgan State, a lot of the HBCUs. So that's fire, right? And then they're also allowing, it's a lottery round, right? So they're allowing 179 licenses, right? But you have to look at your county, your town to see how many licenses and what style of licenses they're allowing.
Yeah.
So right now it's cultivation, it's retail, and it's a processing, which is manufacturing.
Listen, every market opens up the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually those 3 licenses for sure.
Right. So you have to look into your town to make sure they're allowing them, and then how many they're allowing. Right. You can do micro or you can do annual, and once you actually win your lottery, then the real application process starts. Yeah. Right. So they only ask you for a handful of things: a business plan, social equity or diversity plan, and operations plan. Yeah. Right. So you have those, submit it. You get the lottery. They come back around in May, I believe, and then they're gonna ask you for some more information.
So May is gonna be like adult use market for anybody that wants to. But this is social equity, right? And it's crazy. Like we're talking about 3 different markets, right? And like the common denominator is you gotta get approval from the state, but your city gotta be with it. You know what I'm saying?
City gotta be down.
Like even though New Jersey has a rolling application, 2/3 of the cities in New Jersey or townships opted out. So there's a lot of people with conditionals with no place to go.
Yeah.
Right. And so like when you see like now you see like places like Maryland, like we only allowing this many licenses, right? And then the cities are like, we're allowing this many licenses. Right. And then you have to go to the city and be like, yo, am I gonna be able to open? Because you could win a lottery and then they could be like, nah.
Right.
So then you got a license that you can't use. Yeah. So it's really interesting, like the way you gotta kind of go about it. It's like even though you gotta apply, you gotta do your work in your city. You have to.
Facts.
So I just want to give that major key to anybody interested in getting in the cannabis industry.
Facts. I mean, really, that's all we have for the updates. Real places, real close to us. Yeah. I know, PA's, working on something. Delaware's working on something. Nothing yet, but we'll find out more. My second home, Georgia, Atlanta. Woo. They working on something.
Atlanta's gonna be crazy.
Atlanta's gonna be crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the brands is gonna go up in Atlanta for sure. But